There's not very many internships like this out there at the moment. Coming out to Africa, being involved in the process from start to finish, there's hardly any opportunities to get first-hand experience like this.
I think that doing the research project is an absolutely fantastic opportunity for anyone who is interested in either development or research. It's a great way to actually be inside a project, to actually see it operating on the ground, and it gives you a fantastic insight into working within a development context. I definitely want to check the impact that charities are having. I think it's really, really important that we don't just come somewhere and do what we think is good and not make sure that we are actually doing good things.
We started off at Macquarie University where we had some lectures.
It was amazing. We were shown around the university by some students who were there and then sat in their lecture halls. One of the men who talked to us was an advisor to the government. So in itself is pretty amazing because we're really getting the information from the top and kind of enlightened us to a few things as well.
One of the first things that we did with our volunteers was an exercise called mapping, where we basically walked the streets and we literally mapped everything that we came across.
We went round in groups of 2 with a translator and asked people a whole range of questions about themselves and their businesses, and also about any other organisations that we could find, which really allowed us to get an overview of the local economy.
We also saw a hospital which was government run. It was a massive hospital and it didn't have a doctor, and that was really interesting, quite eye-opening as well. And we also found the beekeepers, which we were really excited about. It showed us all his hives. He had about 200, was it?
We were able to taste some honey and learn all about his business. That's essentially what we are here for, to get to know the people as well as we can, to put this into research and then to see what we can do from there. So it's probably the best way you can imagine to get to know a community.
The majority of time on this research project has been devoted to interviewing local people, both people that are affected by what we're doing, but also people who aren't affected, who we can just gain a lot of knowledge about their needs and about the sort of thing that we might do for them.
Our actual interview is split up into 3 stages, and so first we just ask some simple demographic questions so we can really kind of see what Volunteer Uganda's impact has been. And then we do a set poverty index, which is 50 questions, and then what took quite a long time to prepare was the qualitative questions. And I personally think that's so important in terms of what we can look to improve in the future, because through discussion is, how you really find out what the people need. We've been surprised how talkative some of the people have been, like really wanting to talk to us and tell us their ideas.
It was rather touching because it touched my life. They asked about my life backwards long ago, because in the past we didn't have such institutions like Volunteer Uganda. The information they wanted is part of what we need really, and it will be beneficial.
Yeah, and I think the thing we've come to appreciate is the sort of human dimension of poverty. We've come to understand what it means for someone to live under $1 a day, what that means in practical terms, in terms of what they eat, how many times a day they eat, what type of house they live in. I think coming out here you realise just how complex it is.
In the area I come from, everything is on a subsistence level. You see your child has fallen sick, you don't have any single coin in the pocket which can assist to take him or her to the health center and get treated. It's a very important project and their vision can help the community.
having completed data collection, the last job for our team has been writing up the report. A statistician came down over the weekend and he looked basically at all the data that we'd gathered and ordered it so that we can present our findings properly. We are now putting it into the final full report, which the group are writing up before the whole thing goes to 2 elected editors-in-chief.
So we learned an awful lot about the community, and I learned a lot about their lifestyle and how they perceive themselves, what they perceive to be the issues, and being able to say to Volunteer Uganda, like, this is what they want, this is the problems, and then up to them to sort of try and resolve it through policy making.
I think that this project has come up with some really useful and interesting results. There's been a lot of learning about how best to conduct research in this context. So in terms of that, I think we've done a really good job at laying the ground for the future projects.
I've met a load of really interesting people out here, and some very inspiring people as well. And people that are just passionate about Africa, that can talk about it for hours, and people that are passionate about development as well and can talk about that for hours. And that's been really enriching.
I've never done this sort of primary research before, and it's difficult, but you see it coming together and it's so satisfying. It's sort of changed my perception of it. I'm not just going to look at it as an academic study now, it's about people.
If they can understand the problems we face in our communities, it could start and expand in the whole area, and people would gain a lot.
There's not been one morning where I don't go, wow. I love the fact that it's on the ground, working with people, identifying needs, you're that person. You see it, you can understand it, you talk to them maybe, but it's fired me up even more, I'm ready to go and do more now, and I know I'm coming back.